What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for Scream 7. Finally got to see the movie, man. I meant to watch this. Well, first I wanted to watch it opening weekend, but couldn't. Then I wanted to try and watch yesterday, but once again couldn't. Just shit got in the way. But finally today, I was finally able to see Scream 7. And honestly, man, I personally love the film. Now, obviously, this film has had a bit of a troubled development. You guys know that originally Christopher Landon, he was the original director attached to Scream 7. You guys know how excited I was for that because of Freaky and the Happy Death Day movies. I was excited to see his version of Scream. I mentioned that in my, I think I mentioned that in my review for Scream 6, because I think by that point Scream 7 had already been confirmed he was attached, but maybe it was later and I may have tweeted about it or something. Whatever the case may be, I mentioned that I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. He's the perfect director for Scream, because obviously before he did a lot of horror comedies, so I was like, he is the perfect director for Scream. I loved his movies, and then of course everything happened. One of the actors got booted off from one of the films because of some shit she said. I think it was about Israel or whatever. I don't remember. I wasn't really paying that much attention to it. Then of course idiots on Twitter started sending him death threats because they thought he was somehow involved in this. Man, fucking is. And because that's true, he then left the project because of the death threats he got. So thanks, Twitter. Fuck you. You robbed me of seeing Christopher Landon direct Scream 7. So fuck you once again. I mentioned this when I do a review of Drop or something. I might mention it. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video, or I might make a tweet, or I might just mention it to one of my friends. Either way, fuck you. Fuck you from ripping Scream 7 from me, from having him direct the film. Anyway, goes on to release Drop, which you guys know I fucking loved, and I was even more pissed off he wasn't directing Scream 7 because of that. Felt like because it was so good, and I had a sneaking suspicion that this was just that the whole airdrop thing was probably going to be the opening of Scream 7, and that I wouldn't be surprised the whole movie was maybe a slightly repurposed version of his original version of Scream 7. You know, with all that happening, man, then of course Paramount finally fucking paid Neve Campbell. Finally, they gave her the check she demanded for after Scream 5, so that's why she was in Scream 6. And now we're here, man. Honestly, given, like I said, the production, not his first directorial debut, but the last one he directed was in 1999, Teaching Mr. Tingley. Never heard of this film. It's a teen comedy, dark. This definitely looks very 90s. He also wrote and directed this one as well. This is definitely a very 90s looking film. Looking at the poster and the little bits of the trailer that's playing right now, this is a very 90s film. But anyway, this might as well be his directorial debut because he hasn't touched the director's chair since 99. Anyway, so, you know, he's a very inexperienced director, man. He hasn't had much work, but obviously he is a major, mostly a writer, I believe. Anyway, he came in there to direct Scream 7, I believe, and he was also the writer for the film as well, or at least co-wrote the film. He comes in there, man, and honestly, with all that being said, with all the production troubles this film had and everything, man, I think Scream 7 turned out a lot better than it probably could have been. Like, this movie could have easily been went to shit, man, because of the production, because of the development, how, but with the original screenwriter and also creative Scream behind it, man, writing it and directing the film, I think the film turned out a lot better than it probably could have been had anyone else been Tear, man. So I personally love this film, man. And honestly, a part of me wants to say I like this more than Scream 6 just because the reveal, the actual Ghostface reveal, is nowhere near as stupid as Scream 6's one. You guys know in my review of Scream 6, I was very vocal how much I hated the reveal, man, how stupid it was because of how the movie keeps force-feeding you and telling you who it was. And you already know how I hate that chick. That was the black chick that was in Scream 6. She's also in this movie as well. Thankfully, she does not have a lot of screen time, and she made it's like 5 minutes on screen. She's not in the movie that much. Thank fucking Christ. But Jesus Christ, I still hate her, man. At the very least, she gets stabbed and cut in this film. So, you know, I know Scream 8, I think, has already been confirmed at this point, man. Hopefully, that's the one this bitch finally dies. And please, Scream 8, finally kill this bitch because I can't fucking stand her. She's so fucking annoying. Anyway, because of the reveal, man, well, the reveal is definitely one of the weaker Scream reveals, I would say, man. Like I said, it was nowhere near as bad as 6's, man. So I was tempted to give it the leg up of that one for that very reason, and a couple other reasons. But like, the more I thought about it, Scream 6 also did have a lot of stuff I love, like, you know, the New York setting. Ghostface was a shotgun, man. Scream 6 was awesome in its own right, man. So I think for that reason, if you guys would check my letter about you or no, I think I could confidently say I like this more than Scream 5. I think. I might be wrong, man. I haven't seen Scream 6 or 5 since they came out, since I did my reviews for them, man. But I think I can confidently say, for a few reasons, I think I like Scream 7 at least more than Scream 5. I don't know if I'll put over 6. I don't think I'll put over 6. But I think I can confidently say that's at least better than 5. I'll put it over Scream 5. Anyway. So yeah. Also, one other thing, guys, man, actually, and this is something I didn't know about. When Scary Movie had 6, it dropped it was actually attached to Scream 7, like, some other movies like, Avengers Doomsday and whatnot, man. But actually, the ending is a little different. What is shown in theaters compared to what is actually shown up on the YouTube version, which I thought was interesting. I won't get into what it is because I think it's a major spoiler for Scary Movie 6, so be warned about that, guys, if you guys have yet to see Scream 7. But yeah, that was pretty cool seeing it in theaters, man. Love the film, man. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Let's get into the actual review. The movie is directed by Kevin Williamson, who I said, the creator of Scream, the original writer of the first Scream, man, basically the creator of Scream. He is as attached to the series as Wes Craven is, if you ask my if not more so, because like I said, he was the original writer for Scream and was shooting it around before it finally got to Wes Craven. Anyway, and stars of course Neve Campbell, McKenny Grace, Isabel May, Manson Gooding, who I think actually was he in Scream 6 and 5 as well? Yeah, he was in 5 and 6 as well, man. I didn't even know the dude was in these movies, man. I thought my first time I saw him was in Hard Eyes, which I loved him in that movie, man. He was amazing here. So I was kind of shocked to see him. Then I was like, wait, was he in Screams 5 and 6? I just completely forgot he was in there, man. I thought the first time I saw him was in Hard Eyes, man, with him and Olivia Holt. But yeah, he was in Scream 5 and 6 as well. Completely forgot he was there, but it was kind of cool to see that he was there as well. But yeah, he was awesome. It was good to see him, man. And once again, I swear this seems to be a weird tradition with Scream, since with these new ones, where like a boys cast member is in the ones that Sidney is in. Because in Scream 5, we had Huey's actor, I'm slipping on his name, was in that movie, man. Ended up obviously being revealed as a killer. And then in this one, we have Asa German, if I'm saying his name. I feel like I'm mispronouncing his name, who you guys know is actually Sam in Gen V. So I thought it was kind of funny that both of the ones of the modern Scream movie that Sidney's in features also a boys cast member in there. I just think that's funny. Anyway, him and many more. And the plot of Scream 7 is when a new Ghostface killer emerges in a quiet town where Sidney has built new life. Her darkest fears realizes her darker becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, she must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. So once again, the cast is great as always, man. Neve Campbell is incredible as Sidney, man. I love Neve, man. We all love Neve. We all love Sidney, and she's once again great here. But after finally Paramount coughed up the money to fucking pay the woman, it only took me blowing over their face for them to finally pay the fucking woman. Anyway, but yeah, she's great, man. Isabel May, who I checked to see if Tatum was mentioned in the Scream in any of the previous Scream movies, man, and I think I checked the Scream wiki. This is her first appearance, man, because I was like, wait, Sidney has a daughter? Was this like a mention in Scream 5, then I just forgot, or Scream 4 for that matter? I think she got a couple mentions, but I think this is the first time we've actually seen her in any of the Scream movies. So, but I'm assuming she might have still got mentioned in Scream 5 at some point. But yeah, she was great, man. Obviously, Madison, he's great, man. I loved him in Hard Eyes, man. He was so fun. Him and Olivia had such great chemistry to each other. And once again, he's hilarious, man. I love this guy, man. Hopefully I get to see him pop up in more movies, man, because he's great. I love this guy. And obviously, of course, Asa, I know if I'm saying his name right, was great as well, man. I loved him in Gen V, man, as Sam, man. He's great here, and he's great here at this one as well, man. So it's good to see him. Obviously, Courtney Cox, great as always, man. She doesn't have a lot of screen time in this movie, man, but it was obviously great to see Gale Weathers, man. It's always great to see her, man. Obviously, the bitch I mentioned before that I despise from Scream 5, or mostly 6, is here as well, man. She's knowing, like I said, she thankfully only has, like, maybe 5 minutes of total screen time, so she is not in the movie that much, thankfully. But I fucking hate her, man. She's so fucking annoying. I can't fucking stand her. I hate her character. No, I got nothing against the actress herself, man. I'm sure she's great. Actually, is she in anything else I've actually seen? Or is it just the Scream movies? Okay, she's in Yellow Jacket, which I've heard is a good show, but never watched it. She's in Missing, apparently, but I don't remember seeing her there. Yeah, I've not seen her in much. It's just the Scream movies and apparently Missing. But like I said, I don't remember her in that movie. But yeah. Watch my Scream 6 review. You guys know how much I hated her, especially in Scream 6. I think I didn't really have much to say about her in Scream 5, but Scream 6, oh boy, could not fucking stand her. Anyway, cast is great, man. The score, I will say, man, is fantastic. I would say this is maybe my favorite score for Scream. Now, to be fair, like I said, I have not watched any of the Scream movies in years, but I was definitely picking up my phone probably the most times I have for any previous Scream film to try and catch the score. But yeah, the score for this film, man, also some of the I guess, theme song, whatever the song the original song that plays during the end credits, man, is also fantastic as well. So, shout out to the composer for this film, man. I don't know who did the score for this film, but I would say this is definitely probably one of the better scores now, if not the best score for any Scream movie, in my personal opinion. But like I said, I have not gone back and rewatched any of the Scream movies within relatively recently at all, man. It's been a while since I've last watched one of the Scream movies, but the score was really good, man. I will say that. Of course, the kills, man, as always, are fantastic, man. Not this movie definitely doesn't have my favorite Ghostface kills, man, but there are a couple of cool ones, man. Like the one that's shown in the trailer from the opening of the film, man, inside the replica of the house, man, where the Scream one took place, man, where she like falls off the chandelier right onto Ghostface Night, man. That kill was pretty cool, man. There's one that you guys know that like thing in horror movies or whatever, where a person is like strapped down to like a metal board or whatever, and they can't move, and you've got this giant axe swinging back and forth to like slice their inside. I think this was actually like a trap in one of the Saw movies, but you guys know what where you get that, but it's in reverse, where the person is swinging and then Ghostface is stationary and then just slices right through her intestines comes up, man. That was a really cool kill. There's one other one that I don't want to get into spoilers, which I'll mention that spoilers when we talk about the killer and everything, man. Where you definitely see the horror comedy in Scream. And of course, Ghostface slapstick and his ragdolling is here once again, man, in full force, man. Ghostface always be flopping around, man, whenever he needs to be, man. It's always kind of fun to watch how Ghostface is going to be selling and ragdolling and stuff throughout the film. And those are always, obviously, now, something else I always look forward to watching Scream, is just seeing how Ghostface gets ragdolled and abused and thrown around, man. It's always kind of fun to watch that. I honestly love the relationship between Sidney and her daughter herself, man. Obviously, you know, Sidney, she's been through a lot of shit in these past 6 films, man, though really 5 is what she's actually, because she's not in Scream 6. So, you know, she's been through a lot of shit, man, trying to raise her daughter, keep her away from them, that stuff. And I really like the dynamic between her and Tatum, and kind of like how Sidney's trying to get with her daughter and, like, you know, fix her relationship, but honestly, because of all the trauma and everything, man, she's kind of keeping her distance so she's not affected by it. And I really like their dynamic. I really like the dynamic between Sidney and her daughter. I love how badass Sidney is in general in this film. Now, obviously, in the sequels, we have seen, you know, Sidney grow, mature, and always be prepared. Like, I think it was in, like, I forget it was either Scream 2 or Scream 3 where we saw someone prank call Sidney, and she was calm, cool, collected, immediately figure out where he was from the caller ID, knew it was all bullshit, man, and the dude was like, man, and completely fucked over this dude's prank, man. We get a similar scene in that here in Scream 7, where it's just like, where there's like a guy portraying as Gobi, like, hello, and doing the whole thing, and while she is just like checking inventory at her coffee shop, she's like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. She does not give a damn, man. We also see that she keeps a gun in her car. She got a gun in a safe at her restaurant, at her little coffee cafe place. She got an entire secret bunker inside her house. Like, Sidney is well prepared, man, and it's fucking awesome to see, man. Like, it is, like, honestly, like, this is why I probably would rank her, Sidney, as my favorite final girl. Jamie Lee Curtis from Halloween would obviously be up there, and of course, Tina, I believe, from Friday the 13th Part 7, which you guys know is my favorite one. She is up there as well, but I think I would put Sidney at number 1, just for how much of a badass she is and well prepared she is in the Scream sequels, man. She is so awesome, man. Neve plays her brilliantly, man. Love Neve, especially in this one. Like I said, like, there's that other stuff, man, but there's also a couple other stuff as well where you really get to see, goddamn, Sidney don't play. Sidney do not play. So, and also love her fit for this film. The red hoodie she got on with the red hoodie with the jacket over it, man, look good. Probably my favorite Sidney fit in any of the Scream movies, man. So, you know, you got that, man. That was awesome. I already mentioned, like I said, Astet's great, man. Like I said, I loved him in Gen V as Sam. So it's good, and so it was a pleasant surprise to see that she was in here, to see him as well. And it was a pleasure to see him in this, man. So he was great, man. Courtney Gale, like I said, we get to see some of the aftermath of what happened to her in Scream 6, which was pretty cool, man. I was kind of curious to see if they would even mention Screams, because, you know, Sidney wasn't in that one. I was kind of curious, and, like, this way felt, at least from the trailers, felt so disconnected from Screams, because obviously had a different cast, man, because, like I said, the original play for Scream 7 fell apart. So I was kind of curious if they were even going to mention Scream 6 in this movie. They do mention it in Scream 6, and you definitely see some of the fallout from Scream 6 in this film, mostly with Gale and obviously the other 2 characters that were in the previous film as well. That's about it, man. But there is some layover, and you do see the aftermath a bit from Scream 6, which I was curious about. And I was also kind of surprised to see that all of the trailers for Scream 7 pretty much only show the first 30 minutes. I was kind of shocked how little the movie was actually showing, which obviously is good that you don't want to show too much of the trailers and whatnot, man, but like, I'm pretty sure the trailers for Scream 5 and Scream 6 showed a bit more of the film rather than just like keeping everything shown from the first 3 minutes. Like I said, obviously you don't want to show too much, but that was kind of like a pleasant surprise. I was like, huh. They really did not show that much of the movie in the trailer, so that was pretty. So yeah, like I said, that was awesome to see, man. Like there's like when we get into spoilers, we'll talk more about Sydney, man, because like I said, she does not play. Now as far as Nate is concerned, I will say obviously the big one is the bitch that I can't stand from Scream 6, and I wish she would die, but at least she gets like cut in this movie, so you know we're getting there. Progress. I hate this bitch got plot armor and seemingly has not died yet. So please, Scream 8, finally kill her. Nobody likes her. Does she have fans? Genuinely, does anybody like her character? She is so annoying. She is so up her own ass, man. Borderline racist. Because like I said, Scream 6, she was like really going on the white dude for no reason. You know, it's just so annoying, so selfish, so like I said, she's like just uses Gail Within as a stepping stone, man. She has like no respect for her, man, and just uses her to try and advance her own career, man. I just cannot fucking stand her, man. I don't know. Does she have fans? Let me know in the comments if people actually like her character, man. If she does, they're probably feminist. Anyway, so like I said, like she's the movie, man. Like I said, I wish she wasn't, man, but like I said, she only has 5 minutes, so you know, it's quick and relatively painless, man. I will also say, the opening of it, man, was probably the weakest of any of the Scream movies. Like I said, I have not seen most of the Scream movies in years, probably since I saw them in theaters in some cases for like 5 and 6. But like I just thought it was pretty weak, man. Like it takes place in the actual like a replica of the house from the ending of Scream 1. The two people we follow, man, aren't particularly interesting characters. Just a couple, and the dude's really into true crime. He's like, bro, this is so fucking cool. The kills aren't super real interesting, man. Like they're fine. Like I said, the one with the chandelier was pretty cool, but yeah, I would definitely say it's probably the weakest opening of any of the Scream movies, man. There just wasn't a lot to it. And the reveal itself, I would definitely say it's a bit on the weaker side when it comes to Scream reveals. Nowhere near as bad or dumb as Scream 6, so it has that over it, but yeah. This one is, I would not put this up very highly on my Ghostface reveal like list if I was ever to make one, man. You know, I would not put it up that high, man. But yeah, that's about everything, man. Like I said, I don't know if I would put this over Scream 6, but I would at least put this over Scream 5. So I found for the film is going to be a 10 out of fucking 10. Man. Most of that, honestly, for most of the film, I was hovering at like a 9.5. But then, like when we got to like the ending and like the actual final showdown with Sydney and Ghostface, that kind of bumped it up. I was like, all right, this is too fucking epic, man. I gotta give it the extra point just for this ending, man. This because it was pretty awesome. So, like always, guys, I'm going to give you guys my I already gave my final red line. But we're going to get into spoilers, guys, so you guys do not want to get spoiled. You haven't seen the film yet. Leave, and for everyone else, let's continue. So, let's talk about the big one, man. Matthew Lillard is finally fucking back. I didn't want to mention this at all, because obviously this is a massive spoiler, which I was a bit spoiled on this one from the most random place. When I checked the show times on Regal to know when Scream 7 was airing, because I was also curious to see if it was still showing in IMAX, because I was like, as I heard, because I was like kind of curious to see the film in IMAX just because it was the first Scream movie in IMAX. But I also figured it probably was not going to be, IMAX was going to be enhanced the experience that much, because, you know, I doubt Scream was shot with IMAX in mind, and I don't think IMAX even made an appearance in the credits. Like not even like an optimized for IMAX sort of thing. I think it was just like Dolby Vision, but I might have just blinked and missed it. But anyway, I was kind of curious to see what the film would even look like in that, but it was already out of IMAX. The bright's taken over, man, so I couldn't see the movie in IMAX. If any of you guys got to see Scream 7 in IMAX, let me know in the comments how it was, man. Like if IMAX really did anything to enhance the viewing experience of the film, if they added anything to it. But anyway, I was looking to Showtime to see when the movie was coming out, like for like Saturday or whatever, and then I saw the credits, and literally the first name that pops up is Matthew Lillard. I was like, the fuck? Matthew Lillard? Looks like, wait, is this actually the one where he's actually Ghostface? Is this finally when they bring him back? Because obviously, since Scream has come back with 5, 6, and so on, we've all wanted Matthew Lillard to come back in some form or fashion. We've been waiting for this. Every time a new one comes up, we're like, is this the one Matthew Lillard's finally back in? Is this the one? And this one was actually the one. So it's kind of like, is he the killer this time? Do they have like some new footage of him? Maybe that's taking place from like the first film or something? Does he make an appearance in some capacity? So I was a little bit spoiled on that one. one, man, which ends up Matthew Lillard isn't the killer. They in fact confirm he's dead, which is a little unfortunate because they always kind of kept his status a bit ambiguous, seemingly to keep it as like a backdoor in case they wanted to bring back Matthew Lillard. So I was a little disappointed they did confirm that yes, he is dead, because like I said, I felt like they kept that that back door open for Matthew Lillard to eventually come back. Now who knows? They could always retcon it and have him be Ghostface in Scream 8. But if this ends up being Matthew Lillard's last appearance in Scream, I am certainly satisfied. It was so good to see Matthew Lillard again. I'm sure he was happy to come back to set, man. The makeup on the scars he had, man, from the TV, man, looked great as well, man. But yeah, it was just so awesome to see him. And like that alone, I think would put it over Scream 5, regardless of my opinions. Just the fact that Matthew Lillard is in the movie, man. It was so happy to see him. And like I said, I do wish he was the actual killer, or he was like legit there, man, rather than just being like AI deep fake. But it was great to see him nonetheless, man. I was so happy to see Matthew Lillard again. I'm sure he was over the moon to come back to Scream, man. So it was good to see him one last time. If this ends up being his last appearance, man, for the new films, man, I am definitely satisfied with him, man. They did a great job bringing back Matthew, and he was awesome. So that was pretty awesome. Now, anyway, the killer's revealed to end up being they end up kind of being like two random characters, not even major characters in the film. One is the mom of what the hell is his name? Asa, how do you pronounce his name? His mom, because he is like a big true crime kind of guy. He's really into that stuff, and he's like almost obsessed with Sydney, trying to get her for an interview for his for like a new crime podcast he's trying to create, man. So he's kind of like really into her, man, trying to get her interview or whatnot from that perspective, man. And the mom ends up being one of the killers, along with the random mental institution guy that we saw earlier in the film that showed them to the third killer, which I guess was a red herring or whatever. That was just some random guy. I think his name was like Kevin or something. I forget his actual name, where they show him his room to see what he was going on with, man, and everything. So, which I was kind of surprised that these two were the killers, because like I said, they were very random characters that had very little screen time in, which makes sense because I saw a tweet from, Love Physical Media or whatever, that Twitter account that covers like news about the new Blu-ray release, the 4Ks and whatnot, man, said the worst reveal in Scream. So I was like, there is no way you can get worse than Scream 6. And I can see why he said that, man, but like I said, you cannot get... Scream 6 is still the worst, in my personal opinion. So, I was kind of surprised by that, man, but I'd say they did a decent job with their dynamic when they finally get revealed, and you see them being all crazy, especially the mom. She was really good, man. I really liked her there, man. But anyway, after you got the whole reveal with the mom and everything, and then, it's her and Sydney chasing her down, man. Like, you literally got... Then Sydney, like, she grabs a knife and literally just starts stabbing this bitch like she is Ghostface, man. I was like, damn, Sydney, she is just going off, just stabbing the shit out of this woman. And then both her and her daughter just start pumping her head full of bullets, man, till like her face falls off. It was fucking awesome, man. Like, that's gotta be one of the best fight. This review might be one of the least. This has probably the best Ghostface kill, the most Ghostface killer kill in the entire series, man. Just for the fact that Sydney, her daughter, just like shooting her in the head over and over again like a firing squad, man. It was pretty high. I'm not gonna lie, man. That was pretty awesome. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, the reveal was kind of weak, but the kills themselves were pretty good, man. I will say that. I did like the kind of little callbacks to Scream 1 they did, where where her daughter is duct taped to a chair, outside, like the opening of Scream 1 was, where like her boyfriend was in the same position before Ghostface Ghostface sliced open his inside. Also, what was forgot before the end of the video? One more kill we'll talk about. Asa's kill, Lucas's kill. This dude, this is where you can see the black comedy of Scream come out here, man. Where's Ghostface? I don't know which Ghostface it was, if it was his mom or the nurse dude, but literally after he stabs him and basically kills him, Ghostface grabs his head and pierces him through one of those beer tab thingies that's really spiky, and then you just see beer and blood coming out of his mouth, man. I was like, damn. And one other thing that was kind of shocking is that the third Ghostface, the one that we see in the trailer when Sydney are trying to get out of their house, Madison, Chad, and the other chick's character run him over like it's Scary Movie. They just straight up run him over. I was not expecting Scream to actually take something from the Scary Movie movies. So that was a pleasant surprise and kind of fun to see them run him over. But yeah, man. Anyway, guys, as always, leave your thoughts down below in the comments. You guys saw Scream 7. Are you excited for Scream 8? At this point, they have become the parody of Stab, because I think Stab is at 8 movies as well. So they have officially become the parody. They have become what they mocked with Scream 8. But hey, I'll be there, man. I'm excited. Whether or not, Christopher Landon, if he comes back finally to like run it back with whatever his version of Scream 7 was for Scream 8, I don't know. But I'll be there, man, to watch it, because, I love Scream. Anyway, guys, hope you guys are the video. Like if you did, subscribe for new. Follow me so if you feel like it. Links are across below. And as always, back for more. See you guys next time.